What's good, you marks? This is NWO Kai back with another video. So something I kind of wanted to talk about with the fallout of Wrestle Kingdom was the alleged dissolution of the Bullet Club. Those who don't know, I'm just gonna skim through it real quick, but like pretty much New Japan had a New Year's event called New Year's Dash. New IWGP heavyweight champion Yota Tsuji, the press conference, walked out with both members of the Bullet Club War Dog and members of what was formerly known as Los Ingobernables de Japan. I know I butchered the shit out of that name. It pretty much said that they will be forming a new group called the Unbound Company and that both groups will be dissolved. And I just thought that was just kind of weird for a group as influential as the Bullet Club dissolving just like that in a press conference, no storyline, nothing for them to just trigger a dissolution. So that was just kind of weird to me. And also too, I gotta bring this up in the video. I know Yota Tsuji brought back the original design of the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Well, they were two separate titles because the new World Heavyweight Championship was a completely different lineage, and people hated the new title and wanted the V4 version. That's what they're calling it. They want the V4 version back. But honestly, if you ask me, I actually like the new World Heavyweight Championship belt design. If anything, you should have kept the lineage of the old championship and shouldn't have started a new lineage. That's just me. Also, I'm not too familiar with Yota Tsuji's game. I know New Japan really must have high hopes and high faith for him for them to put the top title on the guy and have him be the new top guy leading the promotion forward. Any New Japan marks in the comments, let me know what type of Yota Tsuji matches I need to watch and include link if you can, or if you don't mind, so I can get familiar with this guy. But getting back to the dissolution of the Bullet Club, I just felt like there was so much more you could have did with that group, even though, if you ask me, they haven't really been at the height of their popularity ever since Kenny Omega left. Jay White was pretty cool as the leader of the Bullet Club, but it was really that era of the Bullet Club elite, which is, you know, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Heyman Page, and a few other people. Really was when New Japan was on fire. And this was around the time where WWE sucked and people were wanting something new. So seeing the Bullet Club do what they do outside the realms of WWE was kind of fire. And also too, I gotta shout out Prince Virgil, aka Finn Balor, and AJ Styles during their time as leaders of the Bullet Club. But it was really that time when Kenny Omega was the leader of the group where things really took off in the wrestling world. And shortly after all the Bullet Club elite left New Japan to start All Elite Wrestling, that's where the slow decline of the group started to happen. Although I want to say like the time period where Jay White was the leader, well, after he left, David Finlay was the leader. I like the fact that there was like multiple different sub branches of the Bullet Club. You had the Bullet Club War Dogs in Japan. You had Jay White's Bullet Club Gold, which they turned it into Bang Bang Gang, which I think is a stupid ass name. And you should have kept Bullet Club Gold because that shit sounded tough. You had ABC and TNA, and you can kind of say that they was kind of their own little offshoot brand of Bullet Club. Well, they were Bullet Club, but they weren't affiliated with either the Bang Bang Gang or the War Dogs. I thought that was kind of cool. And I know that Bullet Club had like this little sub factions like the Guerrillas, Destiny, the Elite, but really after Dave Finlay became leader, that's where it felt like the factions weren't really on the same page. Because I know back in the day, like you had like the Bullet Club in Japan, and then you had the Bullet Club USA that was in Ring of Honor and stuff. Well, all the American members of Bullet Club that popped up in Ring of Honor. That was kind of cool. After a while, it just seemed like they were just like all warring factions that didn't acknowledge like who was the real leader of the entire cohesive group. But I'm not a big fan of how the group ended at a press conference. I just thought that the group should have went out guns blazing. And yeah, they've been together. Well, the group itself been active for 13 years. So I want to say the group was active longer than the NWO had existed. So maybe it was time for the group to end, but at the same time, should have went out better way. Because I don't know, man. Maybe I got to get used to the name, but Unbound Company doesn't sound better than Bullet Club. Bullet Club just rolls off the tongue perfectly. And it was such a cool ass stable with the aesthetics. And I love how throughout the years, every different version of Bullet Club, whether it was the original version, the Bullet Club Elite, Like all of them had their own little cool ass aesthetic. Like the War Dogs logo, fire. But I just felt like the group could have continued on as Bullet Club. Maybe have a back to basics approach. Maybe bring back the original Bullet Club shirt. Maybe, you know, bring in some OG members back in Bullet Club. I would just think that with New Japan in the state that it is in now, where they're trying to slowly rebuild its roster and rebuild its reputation, I feel like if they were to continue the Bullet Club, a new refreshed version of Bullet Club for 2026, the shirt itself was a license to print money, because when Bullet Club was at its height, when it was like super popular, you had people coming to WrestleMania in droves wearing Bullet Club shirts, and then there was like somebody at that was a representative if the Bullet Club shirt belonged to them, and WWE had to embarrassingly tell them no. But yeah, like the Bullet Club name 2014, 2015, 2016, all the way up to 2018 was on fire. People, so many, countless numbers of parodies of the shirt itself were made. But my fondest memories of Bullet Club, just to deviate off topic, was when I discovered Bullet Club around 2014. I was like, what the heck is this? And that's what really got me into New Japan. And that's where I figured out who Finn Balor was before he was Finn Balor, when he was Prince Fergal. Nigga, Finn Balor was a straight gangster in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Then you had AJ Styles come in as the leader of the Bullet Club. The IWGP Heavyweight Championship just looked so good on AJ Styles. And then they kicked him out, put Kenny Omega as the leader. Kenny had put on some muscle and jumped up to New Japan's heavyweight division, and he became heavyweight champion. And then you had Cody Rhodes come in to New Japan after, when Kevin Owens was coming into WWE and Cody Rhodes was on his way out. He gave Cody Rhodes the contacts of the Young Bucks and helped them get to New Japan, and the rest was history. So the group has created or helped nurture top stars, main eventers, world champions, the whole 9 yards. One of them, the biggest influential groups of the modern era of wrestling. So yeah, just saying all that just makes me feel some type of way that a group as that big and that powerful and that cool just ended at a press conference. And I feel like there was room for Bullet Club to still survive in New Japan while it's going through its troubles right now with trying to build new stars and get its name back up there. And I felt like, you know, having a legacy group like the Bullet Club would have helped tremendously, because you could have put some of these young guys in there and give them some edge and give them some character and really try to flesh them out. And also too, I just gotta bring this up too, I just think with the Bullet Club War Dogs disbanding, I just think it's weird that Dave Finlay will subjugate himself to being a lackey